Thank you. One day, with two other men, I took a taxi in New York City and had a most enlightening experience. As we got into the cab, we greeted the driver affably, commenting on the weather, which we thought was good, and asked him how he felt and how business was. To each of these genial inquiries, he responded with a glum and depressing grunt. In our conversation as we rode along, the two men kept calling me Doctor. This seemed to interest the driver. He looked around several times. Apparently, he concluded that he had in his cab a doctor of medicine and saw a chance to get a little free medical advice. During a lull in our conversation, he said, Doc, I wonder if you'd give me a little advice. What advice do you want? I asked. Well, he said, I've got a pain in my back, and I've got another pain in my side, and I don't sleep well, and I'm tired, and I just don't feel good. What do you suppose is the matter with me? Can you give me something to help me feel better? Well, I replied, falling in with the physician myth, while I don't like to give an off-the-cuff diagnosis, it does seem that you have the symptoms of psychosclerosis. Whereupon he nearly ran up onto the sidewalk. I guess it sounded like an extraordinarily formidable disease. What is this psychosclerosis, he wanted to know with some apprehension. Any kind of sclerosis is hardening, either of arteries or of tissues. Now, what you seem to have is psychosclerosis, hardening of your thoughts or your attitudes. It is a loss of the flexibility of spirit. And I said, how old are you? And he told me he was 35. Why, nobody should have such aches and pains at 35, I said. Yours undoubtedly come largely from your psychosclerosis. In just a moment, let me tell you what psychosclerosis is. Psychosclerosis. I coined the word myself. It aptly describes the condition of a great many people who have lost their interest and whose thinking has become hard and fixed. And one of the greatest antidotes to this disease of the spirit is enthusiasm. And how does one have enthusiasm in life? Actually, it is as simple as this. Cultivate the ability to love living, love people, love the sky under which you live, love beauty. The person who loves becomes enthusiastic, filled with the sparkle and the joy of life. And then he goes on to fill it full of meaning. So, if you're not enthusiastic, begin today to cultivate the love of living.